Okay, are we live? We're live, okay. All right, so this is a question that I got in the Facebook group earlier. I am live on 3 different phones right now, so just bear with me while I figure this out. I've never done this before. I've got Facebook group live on one phone, TikTok live on another phone, and Instagram live on my regular phone I use every day. So here we go. If you are not yet in the Facebook group, you can join. It's How to Stop Attracting Narcissists for Women Only. So you get in there and join. You get in closer with me. You can get more one-on-one time with me if you want, and you get to choose topics for videos and stuff like that. And when I go live, y'all are usually like some of the first ones to see it. So I got an answer to a post where I said, what kind of topics would you like to see? And I got a real good response from somebody. It says, how to deal emotionally with the after abuse. No contact. Now the flying monkeys. Good one. Now the flying monkeys hacking and posting intimate photos or photoshopped stuff online in groups. The tracking your every move with trackers he placed. Dealing with the almost crippling anxiety from it. Okay, yeah. And it is crippling anxiety. That's not, you don't have to sugarcoat it with me. That, like, I know it is. So, okay. Hacking and posting intimate photos or Photoshop stuff in online groups. Here's the thing. When men lose control of women, and this is not a narcissistic trait per se, even though it could be, it's hard to tell because there's a little bit of a gray area between the stuff that they kind of typically do and the mentally crazy stuff. So you have to, that's a bit of a tightrope sometimes. But when they, narcissistic or not, when they start to lose control of you, things start to happen. And that's part of it, is, well, if I can't have you, then damn it, I'll just destroy you. And that's like a universal issue. And I wish I could do something about that, but I can't. It's just how they do. It's just how they do. And that's why you see all the way they try to destroy your reputation, the way they try to destroy you, destroy your life, destroy your car, destroy your image and your name everywhere they go, call your workplace and tell them awful things about you when you're not there, and shit like that. If they can't control you, they'll just erase you, and that's the agenda. And it's hard to, that's really hard to deal with because they do crazy stuff and they go overboard. And the crazier they act about it, the more angrier they are that they've lost control over you. So the good news about that is that you have your life back. Because if he was in control of you, he wouldn't be acting such a damn fool. So you've got your life back, which is the silver lining in that. But when it comes to the online stuff, my advice, honestly, would be to, I know this is hard, it's hard at first, but don't worry about what he says online. Just don't worry about what he says online, because he's going to say shit and spread as many rumors as he can because he's angry that he can't control you anymore. And that's just something it's just something they do without the narcissistic part. That's just something they do anyway. But if you're dealing with somebody that's got like more aggravated mental problems, it's going to be even worse, right? So don't worry about what he does or says online. The internet is full of a lot of bullshit. It's full of a lot of stuff that's not true. It's full of millions of pictures of people from years ago in their earlier life that either did things or didn't do things, and the shit was photoshopped and it made them look bad, and then everybody saw it and got over it, and then it was over with. It didn't matter. So if anything, if he takes the time to Photoshop something, because men are so bad about revenge porn and shit like that, and that's such a twisted territory. But if he's doing shit like that, where he's photoshopping pictures of you or sharing, pictures of you that he shouldn't be sharing, you know what? Now that these days, if it happened to me, I would say, you know what? Go ahead and look. Go ahead and look. Go ahead and look. Because you can't put a stop to it, because you can't, people can, if it's like, mildly pornographic or whatever, that Facebook could take it down anyway, especially if somebody reports it or if enough people report it. But I have changed my mindset from what it used to be when I would freak out about stuff like that happening years ago. Years ago, I would have said, oh my God, that's so awful. What am I going to do? What am I going to do if it had happened to me? But these days, if it had happened to me and somebody did that and like posted a naked picture of me or whatever, I would just say, you know what? So what? So what? You know what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Facebook's going to take it down anyway. If it's too much, Facebook's going to take it down, or somebody's going to report it and it's going to get taken down. So it's probably not going to be there forever anyway. If it's you in your underwear or whatever, and it falls and it slips through the filter, and it gets out there and it gets circulated, whatever. Just whatever. Just tell yourself, all the people who are admiring that picture, who wish they could either be you or have you. Think of it that way. Sometimes you just have to change your mindset about what's being done to you in the aftermath. And what you have to remember is that he's angry because he's no longer in control. And so all that bad behavior that he was hiding is finally going to come to the surface, and his true color is going to come to the surface, and he's just going to do it. So sharing it to groups, whatever, all you need to focus on, bottom line, is that you are telling the truth, and you're telling the truth. The lawyer knows you're telling the truth if you had to go to a lawyer for it. The people who are closest to you and the people who know you the best know that you're telling the truth. And the important people in your life who are truly loyal to you and believe in you and love you and support you know you're telling the truth. That's what matters, because the people who support you and believe in you and love you the most and the most sincerely are going to be with you no matter what happens and no matter what you go through. They're going to be there anyway. I've got 2 friends in my life three. I've got 3 friends in my life who have known me almost 10 years, each one of them. And those 3 people have been with me and stuck by me through thick and thin and everything I've been through. And they have supported me. Those 3 people have supported me, have believed in me, have loved me, and have looked out for me in ways that nobody else would. And to this day, I'm grateful for those 3 people who have just stuck by my side no matter what. And that's all, and that's what matters. All the things I've been through, all the times old boyfriends tried to ridicule me or ruin my name or whatever, those 3 top people I'm talking about knew that none of that shit was true, because they knew I was telling the truth, because they know me. So the people in your life who are important and who matter are going to be the ones who stick around and believe in you and are loyal to you. And that's it. That's gonna be it. That's all. That's because you can't control what he does, unless you hire a witch. Then maybe you could. And those services are on a different part of my website. But there are ways to control what he does. But my point is, that you have told the truth, and that you are sincere in everything you've said, and that you are not the one who is acting like a damn maniac about it, because you're not. He is. And everyone's going to figure that out. Everyone who matters is going to know what's going on, and the rest is just whatever. He's going to share pictures. His friends are going to laugh and support him during his time of loss and grieving. And then it's going to blow over, and then he's going to find something else to focus on and whine about, and then you'll be a thing of the past. And that's why you can't worry yourself about what he's doing. It's aggravating. it's a pain in the ass, and it's kid stuff. This is kid behavior. But because he's not capable of anything besides that, you just have to be prepared for it and just kind of like brace yourself for the storm. But the storm will pass like all storms do. And you just got to let him get it out of his little system, because bless his little heart, he can't help it. Poor old baby. Can't help it. You just got to let him do it. Let him cry it out. Let him shit himself, you know, and just be done with it. He's just got to do it. Can't help it. So, bless his heart. So he's going to do that and get it over with, and then he'll find somebody else's blood to suck, and it'll be, you know, anywho, and then it's whatever. He'll have to do it, get it out of the way, and then move on to the next victim. And that's what he's going to do. So you just have to tough out the storm. You just have to tough it out for the time being. But like I say, the people who know you and know that you're telling the truth and know your integrity and your sincerity are not going to leave you in the dust. And you'll know who those people are by the end of it. So, now, if he is tracking, you've said here, tracking your every move with trackers he placed. Now, do you mean like an actual thing up under your car somewhere that he has put under there? Because if that's the case, you should be able to go to the police station with that. I would. If it was me, I would go to the police station, and I would ask them, you know, what needs to be done, or call them and say what needs to be done. And then if they tell you, they might tell you you'd have to go to a mechanic to have it found, because the mechanic will find it, because he's going to know he's going to know it doesn't fit in with everything else in there. So if I were you, I would first call the police and see what they say, and then they'll probably, and then take it to the mechanic and have him find it and remove it for you and give it to you, and that way you'll have it. And then I don't know if the police will want it after that or what, but you know, you could always just throw it in a river afterwards and just let it float down into the ocean or something. I don't know, but if he's tracking you, he should not be doing that. And that car needs to be taken somewhere where the device can be found and removed and placed in your hand, so that you'll know where it is now. That's what I would do. And see what you can do at the police station and or the courthouse, because you should be able to sue for some kind of invasion of privacy or something at the courthouse. I would call the courthouse and just see what they say. Or like I've told other people, you know, if you can find a lawyer that in your state that does 30-minute free consultations, call him or her, whatever, and get them to tell you what all you can do in regards to this tracker. And find out. But just make sure that it's a lawyer that does free 30-minute consultations. And if you don't get all your questions answered in 30 minutes, find another lawyer in your state that does 30-minute consultations. And you call as many free consultations as you need to until you get all your questions answered. I tell all my clients this. I tell every one of them, because even the ones that don't have legal issues with the ex-narcissist, you never know when you might need to have questions answered anyway. That's not even about him, about anything. And you just find somebody that does the free consultations. And just because that one person couldn't answer all your questions, or you didn't have time, whatever, doesn't mean you can't just call somebody else that does the same thing and run the rest of your questions by that person. Do you see what I mean? And have your notebook out, write that shit down so you don't forget what was said, because it can get complicated. I have done that. I've had to do that. I had to do that for custody. So I know how that goes. And that's why I tell everybody to do it, because it's such a nice thing to have. And then dealing with the almost crippling anxiety from it. It is a crippling anxiety. Yeah, it is. Because you can't, after breakups, the woman, narcissistic boyfriend or not, the woman is in a lot more danger. If you thought he was dangerous while y'all were living together, he's going to be more so. And I don't know this guy's story, so I'm just talking. But if you think he was dangerous, or if you're worried about physical safety while you were with him, he's going to be, there's a chance he could be worse after you leave, because once he sees the reality of you no longer being under his roof and under his thumb, you're at that much more risk of something bad being done to you. And I don't want to say what it is, but you know what I mean. I'll let your imagination do the work. But you know what I'm getting at. Because that's men can't stand it when they lose control of women. They can't stand that shit. It hurts their soul. And narcissistic or not, it's not even that. It's not even about being mentally ill. It's just some shit they do. They just explode. They can't stand not being in control of you, period. And I don't hate them, but I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that that's not true either. Because they do everything they can to ruin your life after you leave. And that includes ending it if they're so inclined. And that's so grossly common that we have to really pay attention. And you have to, it creates a lot of extra work for you, because you're having to do so much more to worry about your own safety and your own well-being and your own being alive. You have to fucking really tune in. Just because you didn't want to be with somebody anymore. He might get a little bit carried away with himself, with his emotions that, he has so much control over because he's a man. And, possibly put you in danger. Now, if you think that's the case, the first thing I would do would be to tell everybody who you can trust with the information, and anybody you trust, and anybody who would care, that you are concerned about your situation and you're concerned about him taking it too far. And I want you to call the police station or go down to the police station and tell them the same thing. And if you can fill out a report about anything he's done or anything, and if you can get anything on paper with the police station and or the courthouse, I strongly suggest you go and do that. Especially if you have any text messages, pictures of broken furniture, or any evidence of him getting carried away with his anger, because that will help you. Any evidence, witnesses. Let's say y'all had to get together or something at some point, and you had some friends over, and he lost his temper and got mad at you and started acting like a fucking fool. And there were people there who knew y'all, who could speak up and say, yeah, I was there, he was acting like a fool, whatever. Do you see what I mean? Anything you can dig up to document, do that. And then for the anxiety part, well, no, I'm not done. For physical safety, you take whatever measures you have to take. If you can get an alarm system, if you can get a dog, if you can get a gun, whatever it is you need to do, whatever it is you can do, do it. Just in case he's a little bit crazy, and you'll be the only one who knows that, because I don't know this guy's story or what he's like. But I would really like to see you do as many safety measures as possible, and have the police in on it as much as possible, the courthouse. You can go to the courthouse, you can go to the magistrate and get a no contact order, and that will be better than nothing. And a no contact order is kind of easy to get. It's not a restraining order, but it's like a little baby step towards it. And a no contact order will be good enough. So if you can get that, and he breaks that, you can start building your case. But he's got to fuck it up first. But just do whatever you can with that. Call people. Find out. And just take all the measures you can. Write shit down in a notebook. Write down everything you've done so far. Do another page where you can write down stuff you might still want to do. You know what I mean? Like new other ideas, whatever. Get a dog, whatever it is. Whatever you think you have to do. I've also told clients to get those things on the windows. You can get them at Walmart. I think some of them you don't have to drill in case you live in an apartment or whatever. You can tape it up there, or it has a sticky back, where you can peel it off and stick it. And it's those things that if they separate when the window opens, the window the window will beep, or a thing, if you've got a voice thing, it'll say window open, a bedroom window, or whatever the hell. And you can get something like that, and that'll let you know if anytime the door or the window's open. the dog would be the best bet, because the dog's going to hear him before he gets to the damn window anyway, day or night. And once the dog starts going crazy, he's probably not going to come in. You know, because most of the time, people, when they hear dogs, they don't go in there, because they know the dog is letting everybody know somebody's out there. So what's the use? So if you can get a dog, I would highly suggest that. Case of the anxiety. This is where the somatic stuff comes in. This is why I like this stuff, and this is why I include it so much in what I do, because as you're worrying about all this, and as you're having to deal with this while he's throwing a fit, your nervous system is being forced to relive all of this shit that he's done and is continuing to do to you. Your nervous system is being forced to relive it over and over again every time you have to hear his name, every time you see something from him, every time you have to deal with him, every time you have to tell somebody about him, every time you have to discuss him or think about him or are reminded of him. Your nervous system is going to go, oh, we're back in it. And you're not. You may not be. You may be, you know, chilling in your own home just thinking about things, but you're going to start getting, you know, wound up, tight, chest is tight, sweating, you know, jittery, whatever you do. And your nerves are saying, no, we're in it now, it's happening now, and it's not happening now. So there's a lot of things you can do to calm yourself down and just like come back to earth and just come back to reality. And if you want, I can provide a list. You know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to provide a list in the group of stuff that you can do. I got to write it down because I'll forget. But I'm going to provide you a list of things you can do to just kind of settle yourself down. So, one thing you can do, I want you to breathe, you know, and just breathe normally, but deeply. Just breathe kind of deep, you know, get the oxygen into your body and send the oxygen to parts of your body that don't usually get it. Send it there with your mind and just saturate your body with oxygen because it needs it. And that will get your blood going like it should, in a good healthy circulation instead of a freak out pump. Do you know what I mean? And if you are in your own home or with your parents or you're in your own apartment or you're at a friend's house or wherever you're staying right now, I want you to walk around that building, that house or that apartment, whatever it is, and look around and look at everything that's in there. Look at all the corners of the room. Look at all the parts of the room. Look at the ceiling. Look at the furniture. Go look at the bathtub. Just look at it. And I want you to remind yourself that you are in there and he is not. He's not in there. He's at his little dungeon, wherever that is. Okay. Which is, I'm assuming, why he's had to put the tracking device on your cars, because y'all aren't living together anymore. If you are still living with him and you're working on getting out, I want your focus to be doing whatever feels good to your body to calm your nerves down. If you don't have anything, I'm going to put some ideas in the group here so you can see. If you're still living with him, your main focus needs to be taking care of your body, getting your nervous system calm, and doing whatever you need to do to get your plan together to get the hell out of there. If you want to talk about that with me, you can message me for that, and we'll see if we can get you a little plan going to get you out of there. We'll just brainstorm until we figure something out that you can do, either a friend's house or a hotel room or something. If that's not the case and you're already in your own place or whatever, or you're with someone else or something like that, you know, someone else's house or apartment, good. Especially if you're in somebody else's domain, and he comes up on the property or whatever, he's screwed because he's trespassing. And that way you don't have to worry about it. The person who lives there and owns that place is going to deal with it. So that's good. That's one less thing you got to worry about. but I want you to come back into your body. He's playing something loud and I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. He's playing a video and it distracted me and I forgot now what I was going to tell you. Breathe. Come back into your body. And you can sit down in one spot if you want to do this. Some people like to get in the shower and do this. I want you to breathe, come back into your body, and I want you to look around, and I want you to tell yourself where you are. I want you to look at the door and the windows and see that they are locked. If they're not, and you want to lock them, you can lock them now while you're doing that. And show yourself that you are safe. You've got keys. You can get in the car and go if you need to. But like I say, the first thing I would do is have that damn tracker pulled off. And call the police first and see what they have to say. And then take it to the mechanic, and he'll find it and get that damn thing off. Or the police might do it, I don't know. Who knows? But somebody can get in there and get it off. And then get that thing removed. And I suppose you can do whatever you want with it after that. Take it back to his place and shove it up his ass. Here's your fucking tracker. Or send it to me and I'll do something with it. But, anyway, so that's too loud. Sorry, I don't like it when I have interruptions, because when I lose my train of when I lose my train of thought, that's it. I'm fucked after that. So yeah, so get the tracker taken off. Know that you can get in your car and go somewhere if you need to. If you need to go for a walk and like work out the stress, you can do that. You need to do exercise, work out the stress, you can do that. Get in the hot bath, a good hot salt bath to relax your body and relax your system. Do that. A lot of people like a cold shower. Cold showers suck. I do them, but it sucks. I would still recommend it because you feel so good afterwards. It just resets your nervous system. It resets the vagus nerve, and it shocks it in a way. The best thing I could relate it to would be like a defibrillator shocking your heart back into motion. It just shocks it, and then after it shocks it, it starts to act right. That's the best way I can. But a cold shower, it can be good, or whatever you like to do that calms you down. If you already have your own method that works, then just do that. And what else? I know some people like to do tapping, like EFT tapping or whatever. If you want to try that, you can. It's just like that's another nervous system type thing. Move your body around. If you're like me, you can get something to eat and that will calm you down, because I always calm down after I eat. Hydrate yourself. If you're the type that would rather just like watch a funny movie or watch a good movie or your favorite show or whatever, do that. Something to just kind of bring your mind away from something that you're worrying about that isn't actually taking place in the moment. Because you'll be worrying about him, thinking about him, and the intrusive thoughts and stuff like that. And you'll be sitting in a place that is far away from him. It doesn't have anything to do with him, and still be freaking out, and your nervous system's freaking out when he's not even in there. So you don't want to do that to yourself. You don't want to get carried away with something that is in your mind. Because you're not going to be able to plan, your next step, your next big move, if your nervous system is wrecked from worrying about him. So yeah, the crippling anxiety. I'm gonna make a list, and I may make another YouTube video for this as well, like a separate one. But I'm gonna make a list of things that you can do, just to give you some ideas for your nervous system, methods for calming down, so that you can come back to earth and not worry so much. But mainly, I would keep in mind, like I say, get the tracker taken off, let the police know, let the courthouse know. keep the tracker for a little while until you decide what to do with it. That way he doesn't know, what you're doing or whatever. And if it's not moving around, he'll probably think that you've thrown it out or something like that. I don't know, but I was going to tell you something else. I just lost my train of thought. Let the police know, let the courthouse know, take the tracker off. Do things, and just do things that feel good to your body. If you need to, if you're feeling exhausted from the anxiety, you need to lay down and take a nap, do that. Some people like to do something, like to exercise. You can go to the pool and swim. The cold water will be good for you, and the exercise in the pool will be good. Go for a walk the dog, play with the dog, and let people know what's going on. The people around you who you can trust, who know your story and know what's going on. Let them know every step of the way what you're doing and what you're up to, so that the important people are, up to speed. And that way they can speak up for you and fill in, fill in blanks or anything like that in case the police ever have to ask them questions or whatever. You never know. I don't know how severe your case is, your situation is, so I'm just like trying to go over everything I can think of. So let me, in fact, if you want, I would even like to do a little bit of brain spotting with you if you're down. I have that on my website now if you want to book that. It will be 30 minutes, and it would be me and you on a video chat. We can do Facebook Messenger, because you can do video chat on there, or if you would rather use Zoom or whatever, it doesn't matter, either one. And you don't have to, if you download Zoom, you don't have to pay for it. They have a free basic thing on there. But we can do a little bit of brain spotting and just see if we can get some of that cleansed out of there for you, and let it process, let your nerves just process it out like one good time, and just see how you do afterwards, because a lot of that stuff is going to get stored in your fibers and in your brain, and the brain's going to hang on to it until a later date when it's more convenient to deal with it, and you don't want the brain to choose when that's going to be, So we can do that as well if you want. My favorite somatic healing for myself is belly dance. I do that, and I come to life when I do that. So if you like something more artistic like dance, or working with your hands or creating something or something like that, that would also be somatic therapy. That's because you're working your body and you're doing something and you're working out the tension. You know what I mean? So anything like that. If you like to sew or do beadwork or whatever, that's good too. But anyway, let me do a separate video on some ideas and stuff that can be done, and I'll post that as well. And then if you have any more questions, let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. So thanks for sticking around, and thanks for the question, and y'all just keep answering the stuff in there and commenting so I can do some videos for you if you want, because y'all get to pick the topics in there. So post away. All right, thanks.